Hey, good morning to you all. I'm
Morning.
here with Mr. Wilk.
Thank you, Tom, for inviting me.
You're welcome. Once again, I forgot to put your name on there. It's Tommy D
Such disrespect.
and terrible and Brian W. Well, Brian W. doesn't roll off the tongue very well.
Yeah, Tommy
Brian
D's got
Tommy
that
D, bang
snap.
bang.
Brian W.
Yeah. So BW. We're going to call you
BW.
BW.
That works.
Okay. Tommy D and BW here. Hope you had a great weekend. Wow, did it storm yesterday?
It stormed. It was a great day to stay inside.
It was heavy rain. If that had been snow, I think it would have been about 14 inches of snow. Yeah.
Wowzers.
I can see how upset you are.
Yeah,
Yes.
anytime snow is mentioned.
Yeah, absolutely. I go, what are we doing with this? So, but it was rain. We did have some frozen precip in the form of sleet. Excuse me, it wasn't sleet, it was hail. Hail and sleet, they're two totally different things. When you have a thunder and lightning, you have hail. Usually, sleet does not have thunder and lightning. It's a much more stable
Okay.
type of thing, usually with warm fronts. But this was it was kind of rough go there for a bit, but hopefully you enjoyed it. If you're a Niner fan like me, you're very happy right now.
Yeah.
My Niners dismantled, what is probably the biggest rival in the NFC right now, Philadelphia. My son is not happy, but I'm sorry, son. That's what we call growing up.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, and of course it was only a game. I hope they play that well when they get to the playoffs and hopefully make it to the Super Bowl. Browns took it on the chin here.
Yeah, Browns got hammered.
They got hammered
Joe Flacco
by suddenly resurgent Los Angeles Rams.
Right.
So Niners, I think, still have to play them too. And I'll tell you what, Staff and those guys seem to be back on track. Pittsburgh Steelers fans, boy, Pittsburgh, which make you, I guess, silver lining here. They really laid an egg against the 2-10 Arizona Cardinals. Now, to be fair, Arizona to me is probably one of the hardest working football teams that just can't get over the hump.
Yeah.
But they managed to do it against Pittsburgh. But both Pittsburgh, you're still 7-5.
Yeah, they're still in the playoff
You're
hunt.
still
for
in the
a wild
playoff hunt there.
card spot, but, I mean, the Browns should be like 9-1. There's just so many injuries, and it's another disappointment.
It is.
It's
It's
rough.
rough. But Pittsburgh is a real head scratcher after piling up 400 yards last week. Against a better opponent.
And they were at home too.
They were at home, yeah. Arizona hadn't won a road game, I think, in like 10 straight times. So it was really but again, one of the bright spots though was our homegrown James Conner, who had a monster game against Pittsburgh. To 2 running touchdowns, I think over 100 yards of rushing. So it was good to see him. He graduated a year ahead of my daughter,
really?
McDowell, and just a great guy. Even back then, he was always a happy guy. And
he seems like he's a good person. Yeah, I know he does a lot of stuff.
He does. He really does. He's a great person. We're proud to have him as Erie homegrown, and he was in Pittsburgh for a bit as well. Bills fans, you got a break by being off, so you had the bye week, and everyone to get back on track for next week. Hey, we have some weather to talk about here right now, and it is wet. Keyword here is wet. Temperatures everywhere. All the weather watches are above freezing. Good news.
I was gonna say, okay,
yeah, absolute good news for traveling. No ice as far as we can tell, and there is a bit of snow that's starting to mix in with the ice now. This precipitation, hard the color that we had from yesterday. But you can see some magenta starting to mix in. As the rain falls, it tends to cool the atmosphere a bit, and you can get that bit of rainfall. There's actually, just watching, there's a pretty good little line of, it's all rain showers out over the lake. That's heading toward the east. So that will probably hit our inland snow belts here. I think it'll still be enough. I think we'll see some snow start to mix in with that rain. If you live basically in that McCain to Meadville corridor here, some of the snow may be heavy enough where it might get a little bit of accumulation in the grassy areas. But I'm hopeful that the surface temperatures, along with just some of the salt from the past, it does tend to kind of linger on the roadways a bit as well, to keep the roadways wet. as you go through the day.
Not everyone has snow tires or
right,
a big truck.
exactly. But it should not amount to too many problems on the roads. They should stay wet. And really, the week, no big storms, no big lake effect like we had talked about last weekend. The next, I want this one. If it'll, okay, there, all right. Running a little slow on the computer this morning. And boy, things are just popping up. All right, let's try this again. Now let's get that thing out of there. So we're in between systems. When you're in between systems, usually that doesn't mean a whole lot for us. This is the low that gave us all that rain. Yes, quickly moving toward the east and giving some good snow there to New England, but that's moving out. So you notice that these systems with time today, we stay right in the middle. So we get, now it's still lake effect, because this is a west-northwest one. So this is lake effect rain and some bands of some wet snow mix in. Could be steady at times, but again, I don't think it'll cause too many problems. Into tonight, the lows move out. We get kind of tranquil. That little trough comes in, but it looks like it's going to wash out. And then this low right here, I'm not real. I think the path that Futurecast takes is a little too far south. I think this low. Okay, it's not going to highlight it for me. Okay, but if it did, I think that low is going to track more through Pittsburgh. And what that means for us is maybe a little better chance of seeing some wet snow develop during the afternoon tomorrow and at night. Enough to maybe give a good inch or two maybe to the belts.
Okay.
Here in Erie, we'll probably stay.
And you said that was kind of towards the Edinboro area.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's the
Edinboro, McCain, Corey, some of the traditional snow belts, Cambridge Springs, Sagertown, maybe even toward Linesville and Meadville. Don't be surprised if during the afternoon tomorrow you get an inch on the ground. Maybe enough for a coating on the roadways, but again, the roadways, being treated, it would immediately turn everything wet. So I'm not expecting too many problems on the main roads, at least tomorrow. Tomorrow night, maybe a coating. Again, snow belts may get a coating to an inch on the roadways. Maybe a bit slushy for early morning commuters on Wednesday. I think here and there with the wind off that 43-degree lake water, we should be okay.
Okay.
I don't think we'll see much in the way of accumulation there. So we got these pot shots here that, may make things a little steady once in a while, but no big storms. No big storms in there.
Anytime there's no big storm.
Yes, the anti-storm man himself, yes. Brian Wolf. Not a fan of the storms here. Me, I don't mind having them once in a while, but I'm a weather geek, and that's what we do. We live for these storms. And but as we pop up the 7-day, again, I think this is your kind of weather, really.
Especially on Friday.
Yeah, Friday looking good there. We may hit 50 degrees. The weekend, Saturday looks mild. Sunday, a bit of a toss-up there. A rather potent storm system will bring some good rain, and it could bring some decent snow for early next week. Again, the temperature profiles are iffy. They still could be kind of like today, mid-upper 30s. If it stays that way, you can still get some decent, we've lived through enough. We know that you can get some good snow, even up to 40 degrees. So something to watch, but that's a week away. And we usually don't like to get too fanatic ahead of ourselves, especially because the models have really had a hard time when you get to that 7 to 10 day range. We've had some major differences. I think we talked about the one model 10 days before Thanksgiving that was just hammering us with heavy snow. Some were even going for well over 1.5 feet of snow. And then what happened? We had nothing. we had nothing. So. Excuse me, I'm going to reserve, the excitement until we actually get at least, don't want to open the door on that until maybe Wednesday or Thursday. So, good morning to you, Bunny Hopper. Good to see you this morning. Bob and Sue are Jacksonville people. They go to Spartansburg, by the way, during the summers. That's
okay.
So they're the snowbirds. Lori out there in Warren, good to see you, Lori. Diane, good to see you, Dan. Mary Kendra, hello, Mary, and hello as well, Robert. And you have a wonderful day as well. Kim out there in Corey, 35 degrees. It's wet out there. Hello, Jessica. Good to see you on this rainy Monday. Lori, our Edinburgh gal, 36 degrees. Yep, rain is fine with me for this week. Probably going to do a lot. And your cohort in Edinburgh, right below there, Phyllis. Good to see you. Same temperature, 36 out there at the Borough. Bill Cox out in Waterford. Hello to you. You got it. Yes, absolutely, Bill. Especially when you have these, funky temperatures that can still make things interesting. But again, I'm not real concerned for any bad conditions on the roads. So it could get a little steady, maybe out your way and later on this morning. April, hello to you. Moxie Jim, good morning to you from the hills of Tennessee. Good to have you here locally for today. So let's see, they had ice sculptures at Conneaut Lake over the weekend. Yep. Real good stuff. We got some pictures from many people out that way. Sounds like it was a real good time for you able to go there as well. And so much going on. The ice rink.
Yeah, the ice rink, the synthetic ice rink. Yeah, that's a big hit. And they said that I think Sunday was the busiest they've ever had there.
Yeah, busiest ever, since they started it. And like any new adventure, they had some bumps and bruises last year.
They sure did. Yeah.
And it sounds like they've, so if you had maybe not the best experience last year, give it another try.
Yeah, they've modified it.
Yeah, the manager there, they've worked hard. Again, anything new. A lot of people love. I mean, clearly it's an attraction.
It is
when you have the kind of people that we had on Sunday. We had, of course, the lighting of the Christmas tree here as well. Not the snowiest, but that's okay. But Christmas trees are fun to look at regardless of the weather.
As long as they're lit up and pretty.
Exactly. Okay, it's almost 7:15. Mr. Wilk, good to see you. Thank you for joining me on this Monday. You have a good time. Be careful on the roads. We'll do this again tomorrow. Take care.